I put myself between the charging ogre and our wizard, and raised my shield to deflect his blow.
Alright, sounds like defy danger to me. Roll plus strength.
Well, that's a 4.
Good news, mark XP. Bad news, the heavy blow tosses you about 20 feet into a pile of what looks like vines. As you land, the vines begin to move around you.
Oh, wait, what? I want to discern realities. Okay, got an 8. That means one question, right? What's about to happen?
As the tendrils begin to make noise and move closer to your friend, it becomes apparent he's about to listen to that D&D podcast.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for someone to say, fuck, mine doesn't work. Because, hey,
So how will we sync it up if they're not all at the same time?
I'll figure it out.
Okay.
This conversation
By
will
the
make
way,
sense.
I hope I'm glad that we actually do edit them, because listening back to some of the episodes of Let's Plays where he's like, we'll edit all this out, and there's nothing edited out, so it's like 5 minutes of like nobody really saying much while somebody's waiting for something.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes. Because sometimes, like,
But
if somebody has
that's
to
part of the
do
joke.
like tend to a kid or something, it'll be like 7 minutes of silence. Like, it makes the editing easy, but I can't imagine just leaving that in there. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess if it's like the OBS thing, because I don't have the time or patience to edit video anymore. Like, I did that in high school. I
Right.
took TV production classes. I probably could do it if I had to.
Oh
I'm
God, but
not
it's
gonna,
so much
so-
trouble though. Yeah.
Also, and like rendering video is way more computer intensive than
Yeah.
processing audio. Anyway, so we are all here. I have both of the recordings going. So yeah, let's get this shit on the road. Hello everybody. Thank you for downloading this latest episode of That D&D podcast. My name is Chris. I am the GM, and I will be leading this band of stalwart adventurers to some polite humanitarian trade organization interactions. Basically, it's going to be the Phantom Menace in this episode before the gas. So let's go around the table and introduce the Obi-Wans and Anakins of this situation.
Hi, I'm David. I'll be playing Zharko. I will be bringing the poison gas with the wand of Cloudkill we found last time.
Hi, my name is Adam. If I remember right, I'll be playing Oric the Rogue.
I'm Renee, and I'm playing Sam the Ranger with my dog, Wolf Dog Max. Also, Phantom Menace Anakin is irrelevant and useless.
Right, now you have to figure out which one of you is irrelevant and useless. Who is the appendix of this group?
Audacity! Wait, no.
That's a trick question. The entire movie was useless.
That's also true.
So, last session, for those of you who are listening, please forgive any weird misnamings or slight errors in the memory of what happened, because for you it may have been a week. For us it's been like a month and a half almost. We recorded the last episode before Thanksgiving, I think, or right after Thanksgiving, and holiday time is a bit rough when it comes to scheduling people for podcasts, when everybody is shifting about like an amoeba on a thing that amoebas move on.
That
That's bad.
simile got way
I
out of control.
lost the train there. Yep. So, yeah, it's been a while. Anyway, so
It's like an amoeba shifting around, on a petri dish when you're trying to look at it in the microscope.
yeah.
And you're like, sit still, amoeba. and then your lab partner's like, dude, your magnification is way too high.
Oh, God.
Sorry, flashbacks to bio.
So last session, you guys made it out of the Undertrails. I believe you emerged with some loot. You had a partially eaten journal that you got both parts of that detailed the downward spiral of the end of a person and then a Wendigo's life. You got a fancy cloak. You got the cloth doll and necklace that the man with the journal was going to bring to his wife and daughter. And Zharko, you got a wand that was imbued with a few castings of a spell called Cloud Kill, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. We also got the greatest gift of all, which was the friendship of somebody.
Yes. I don't consider it loot since it's a living being, but if that's how you want to roll, you did make friends with a gray render named Felix. Basically, he's like 8 or 10 feet tall, has long claws, big teeth, stony skin. The bodyguard of your
Great
dreams.
personality.
Basically. Yeah, great personality. Real killer at parties. You guys went to the town of Bendfirst, which was the first town you came across right after leaving the Undertrails. Let Zharko go talk to the guards. He caught one on fire, and somehow after that, you were all given lodgings for the night.
Scared the shit out of him.
Max and Felix spent the night in a nearby barn, and the three of you were sneakily given keys to rooms at the inn. Unbeknownst to the mayor's or elder's wife who runs the inn. So yeah, there's that. I believe it was blizzardy outside when you all went to bed, so when the morning comes around, it will be more blizzardy. Well, it'll be mostly over, but the snow is really, really deep.
I believe we also asked the now adult daughter of the Wendigo to join us in the morning.
Vela.
Or we asked the
Yes.
mayor to join us.
Yes.
Or asked, yeah.
I believe you asked the guard about her, and they said they would try to get a hold of her for you.
Yeah, that. I think it was the mayor or the guard. Yeah, someone. We asked someone to contact her.
So morning comes. You guys all had separate rooms. Do you want to reconvene anywhere? There's like a little central lobby area in the middle. There's doesn't appear to be a kitchen or anything here. Oh wait, hold on. I have a map. That originally said the name of what I named the town before I realized I'd already given it the name of Bendfirst, so I had to scratch it out real quick. So it looked better previously.
Oh, I guess also to say officially, overnight I leveled up to 3.
Okay. I believe you did have enough experience for that, yes?
Yes, I think most of us leveled up.
Most of you had the ability to. I don't know if anyone
Yeah.
remembered to do that. And if not, that's fine. We can do that before the next session. But at level 3, you get to choose an advanced move. So what did you pick?
Brewer. When you have time to gather materials and a safe place to brew, you can create 3 doses of any one poison you used before.
Delicious.
So I can now make new things.
All right. That's just what we need, is a dude in a strange town making poison.
I can make friend poison now. Everyone can be my friend.
Here, drink this. Don't ask questions. You want to fit in, don't you?
And I put my 1 point into dexterity, bringing it up to 17.
Okay. I'll have to check. I don't remember where the modifier section
18.
is.
It doesn't go up till 18.
Okay, it
which is
doesn't
the
go till
max.
18. Good. I'm glad you knew that. I am not super on the ball with that. Might be. This is one of those games where the modifier gaps are weird.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Since leveling up is so easy, I think you all did have the ability to level up. Yeah, you all had enough experience.
You say it's easy, but I have to pick a spell. That's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't actually know that I had enough experience to level up. But I don't actually know how much experience I have, so there's that.
I'm pretty sure we all did, but you can. I mean, we could just. You could just
Yeah, but I've actually not gotten a lot of experience.
no, you just say you did. That's it. You're done. You leveled up. Good job.
I have so much experience.
If someone asks you if you've leveled up, you say yes.
Totally did. I just have to figure out how to do that in this game.
Well, you go to your ranger class in the book, and then it says when you level up, you can choose from stuff.
Yeah, I know. I haven't looked at it. I'll do it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you all want to reconvene down in the lobby or like head to
In the
somebody's
lobby,
room for
sounds
pillow
good.
fights and okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, so when you guys all get to the lobby, there is a woman who seems to be probably late middle age. She's standing behind the counter, and as you all walk down the hallway and past her desk, she gives you all a stink eye. She says, "Who are you then?"
Travelers, we came in late last night.
Mm-hmm. How'd you get into a room? I give out the keys. I didn't give you a key. I know everybody who I give a key. I keep them in a logbook, and I don't have 3 random names in a logbook that I don't remember, because if I didn't remember them, then they wouldn't be... Where'd you come from?
I'm going to stop you right there. Why don't you just talk to the mayor? He's the one who put us up here for the night.
Talk to my husband?
Sure, you talk to your husband.
I believe when he came to bed last night, he would have said something about this.
Maybe he didn't want to wake you up. He was being considerate.
I'm afraid we arrived very late at night, and he was roused because of the unexpected appearance of us out of the caves to the north. We're adventurers, you see.
She gives you a real curious glance, and she says, no one arrives out of the caves to the north. There's monsters in there.
That's right. We befriended some of them. They're in the barn a ways out here in town, if you'd like to see them.
She kind of steeples her fingers together and then pushes it over the bridge of her nose, and she goes, so, after bringing monsters into the town, you stole 3 rooms, 3 nights' board from me.
Well, no, we didn't bring them to town, but the guards insisted that we bring them to town to show them because they were curious.
And then you brought them to town.
Well, they asked us to.
Mm-hmm.
I told them we didn't want to cause a scene by bringing them to town, but they were very insistent. Yes, that's exactly the same face your husband made.
I'll leave that problem solving up to him. For now, there's the matter of the 6 coin that you all owe for the rooms.
I'd like to speak to your husband, please.
You can talk to him after you pay for what you took. I can have the guard come if you would like.
You could, but I don't think the guard is all that intimidating to us.
I'm going to put my hand on her shoulder, and then I'm going to cast Charm Person.
Okay. Let's do this
That's
then.
better than what I was about to do.
Let's not pay her 6 coin and mess with her head.
For a pittance of money, let's start casting spells on the townspeople. All right, a 10 makes it work.
Yeah,
All right,
I like.
What's the spell say?
Okay, so Charm Person. The person you touch while casting the spell counts you as a friend until they take damage or you prove otherwise. So I'll just put my hand on her shoulder and say, oh, no, don't worry. We're going to talk to your husband right now to work out the payment for the rooms. So don't worry, we'll be back and we'll have your money for you.
You better be on the up and up. You get 1 pass. You got me? Just because I think you're okay. I don't trust these other ones with you, but you seem okay.
Here, drink this. Wait, no.
Jesus.
No.
I feel like that should be one for the quotes page. Just, hey, drink this. All right. Where are you going? Need any directions around town?
I guess we were supposed to be meeting with the mayor.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to this sweetie over here. Do you need any directions around town?
To the to the mayor's office.
Sure. Okay. So when you leave the door, when you walk out the front door, you're going to take a right. You're going to go past the building, and then you're going to see a big building that's kind of curved. That's our house. He'll probably be in there. You know him. He's lazy. He's probably still asleep.
Okay.
I drew a dotted line on the map to show you the path to the mayor's house. It's the one that has Mayor Quimby on the top from The Simpsons. Because I searched for mayor, and that was one of the things that came up, and I was like, yes. So she gives you a little pat on the back, and she says, okay, off with you. Do what you got to do. I've got a business to run. All right, so you guys heading out now? Anything else you want to do in here?
No.
Okay. You walk out the front door. It's a bit hard to open the door, just because of the amount of snowfall that has accumulated overnight. It's probably close to waist height in the areas that haven't been cleared. You see figures that are just covered in furs, carrying large torches in front of them, walking back and forth between buildings, I guess it looks like they're there to melt a path to the buildings through the snow. seems to be slow and not very fun work because they all seem soaked and miserable. But across the street, you can make out very barely the sign for a tavern of some sort. And the road off to the east, leading towards the mayor's house, seems somewhat navigable, if that's a word.
Do we want to go right to the mayor, or we want to?
Um.
I mean, I guess we can go start with the mayor.
Yes. I guess.
I don't know if it
Yeah, we
matters.
might as well start with the mayor.
All right. As you guys are walking towards the mayor's house, you see a figure wrapped in some shabby-looking clothes that seems moth-eaten. He's wearing it as best as he can to protect him from the cold. He's got a sign, and he's shaking, and the sign says basically that he's looking for work. You can go right on past him if you want. You can talk to him. It's up to you.
I will greet the random encounter. He said, what sort of work are you looking for?
Anything that pays, mister.
How old is this person look again?
He's real short and squat, probably a halfling of some sort, so age is a little bit harder to determine than it is with other humans. But he's very bundled up, and he's got some laugh lines in his face, but you can't see a whole lot else on him.
Okay, I don't have any work for you, but I could use some information about the town. We're not from here. You might realize that. We're just arrived last night and could use some information about the town of Benfirst, I suppose.
I can, if for gold, I could be a guide for the day. I mean, you're not from here. Are you the glory-seeking type? I've got some skills that could be handy for that, maybe.
Yeah, I'll toss him a coin and say, sure, why don't you walk with us for a little while?
Sure. Where are you looking to go? What do you need info on?
Right now we're heading to the mayor's house. He wanted to talk to us since we had some interesting introduction last night with him.
Oh. Okay.
Oh? Is this a problem?
We had an issue once. He's not particularly fond of me. Perhaps, he hands you the coin back and his hands are shaking. He says, perhaps after you talk to him, you can come back and we could discuss things.
I would give him 2 coins back and say, well, why don't you wait for us in the inn?
Much obliged. And he heads off towards the inn.
Okay, and yeah, we'll continue on our way.
Make sure to deduct 2 coin from your inventory.
Done.
I know that's some hard math right there.
Mm-hmm.
800
I'm
minus
not so
2.
good at chatting.
Alright, so you round the bend. You get to one of the nicer looking houses in town, unsurprisingly. And there is a town watchman in front of a fire by the front entrance to the house. And he looks up. You can hear him curse under his breath as he sees Zharko come around. And Zharko, you immediately recognize this as Garrus, the guy that you caught on fire last night. Well, if it isn't the incredible Blumpo and his friends, what do you guys need?
Blumpo, wow.
That's what he said his name was. The Great Stupendo or Incredible Blumpo or some sort of magician name. I don't know.
I'm sorry, are your ears burning? Somebody must be talking about you.
Talking about you, Zharko. It's the other way around.
Oh no, he knows what I'm talking about. And I give him sort of a stink eye.
He's real lucky we're not allowed to just beat up random people walking this. Are you here on official business? Is the mayor expecting you?
His wife is expecting us to talk to him, if that's what you mean.
I thought you were just going to say his wife was expecting us. That just sounds terrible.
Zharko goes, "Hey-o!"
Anyone? No, just me. Okay.
The guard turns around, opens up a little panel, pulls a string a few times, and then he opens the door. And he says, "Sir, the people from last night are here." He hears some mumbling coming from inside. He goes, "No, the monster's not with him." "Okay. He closes it and he says, Mayor says, go wait in the entrance, the receiving room.
Go in.
He tries to close the door on Zharko's, like, on his back. And he says, I'm watching you, Firebug. And after a minute or so, the mayor comes in. Still appears to be wearing his sleeping robes, but he's putting on some better walking around and going outside clothes on top of it. He goes, yes, welcome. We didn't get to have our full discussion last night, did we?
No, we didn't, I suppose.
Well, I guess some introductions are in order. My name is... everyone here just calls me Elder Wells, so... if that works for you, Elder is fine. I'm not the most formal person in the world. And he holds his hand out in greeting, and he looks expectantly at you all.
Elder Wells?
Wells, yes.
Okay.
I would shake his hand and just say, Oric.
Pleased to meet you. Do the other ones talk, or do you speak for them? I don't know how this adventure thing works.
Zharko's just going to, like, nod respectfully at him. And, like,
I only
smile,
talk if I
because,
have to.
we've already met.
Anyway, so, once again, what is it that brings you all to Bend First?
As I was saying last night, if I recall, after a month and a half, our town, I can't remember the name of our bloody town either. First Conquest? Okay, hold on. Okay, so yes, we're from the town of First Conquest, and we're looking to establish outside connections. It's been a long time since we reached out, and from the sounds of it, people don't seem to know that we exist. So we're trying to set up trade routes.
Trade, and you said you came through those caves to the north, the Undertrails, I believe.
Yes, I don't think I would suggest going back through them, but that's the way we came down initially.
Well, surely if you made it here, the way's been cleared, and all that has to be done is a little digging out to make the tunnels accessible to carts and such, correct?
Well, he does have a point.
There were certain paths that we had to take through the caves that were very treacherous, impassable, not easily even on foot, and there was the threat of monsters that we didn't encounter.
Ah.
It was not an easy passage.
Well, you said there were monsters that you didn't encounter?
No. Yes. We did not encounter everything that was in there.
Monsters that we perhaps encountered and then avoided.
Unencountered?
With some assistance, would you all be able to go back and defeat these monsters to make the way clear? There's not a whole bevy of options as far as getting to the north, aside from that, or a water route, which seems treacherous since we have to pass through very near the accursed swamplands, or else heading out into the deep sea is a troublesome endeavor from our position.
I don't actually recall our world map. Did we take the most reasonable route to the south? Was that why we went to the caves, or was it just because there was loot?
I think it is the. Wow, that's way smaller than the other map. Okay.
That's so large.
I think it was the shortest, like the.
Oh.
There were two ways that we knew.
What's the word that I'm trying to think of? The most direct route. There we go.
Okay. So going north of the mountain range is too close to the marsh.
The marsh kind of butts right up against the mountain range.
The marsh is pretty gross.
The Undertrails pretty much takes up most of this area that you guys traveled. If I'm going, let me draw just a regular little Undertrails is probably like this, and then the marsh is everything like north of that. So there's not a whole lot of options. They could try to get boats to go upriver to get out to the open ocean, but that would be a pain in the ass without motors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As we are adventurers, we are not adverse to this undertaking. But it will be a dangerous one, and while benefit to both towns will be had by this trade route, it's not necessarily something we're willing to do purely for goodwill, if you know.
Well, to establish trade, some sacrifices must be made on both sides. A common goal must be achieved. We would be most likely expending much of the effort to widen the tunnels and to dig out the stone. If it would benefit your town, you can have the stone that we excavate.
Do we
Perhaps
need
we
stone?
could use that to help make better paths through the marshes.
I wonder if there's a path that might meet up with the rest of our party to the west.
We know
somewhere.
little of the West, so I have no idea.
Yeah, you guys don't know much about anything past that fork. The elder says the mountains extend further to the south, past River Glen. Where the river tapers off, the mountains, they get smaller. Slightly past where that ends to the south, the land becomes much more hostile, but the mountains also disappear. So it seems that regardless of which way you choose to do things, there will be obstacles, let's say.
Okay, well, this certainly is the goal of our being here, so let me talk to my companions here and see if we can formulate a strategy to clear out the remaining caves.
Surely.
To make it safe for traders.
What I can propose, if you would like to talk about that once you leave also, we can send a small contingent of town guards with you, maybe no more than a handful, to assist. We can also send some survey teams. If you are heading back to First Conquest, I believe you called it, if you're heading back to there from here, we can have a team scout the cave system and then report back, and then another team head with you to First Conquest to scout the rest of the journey, and then also report that back to us, so we know how much work needs to be done on the caves and can begin work on that immediately, and then after that, how much of a journey it is to get to your town and what sort of environment we would be traveling through.
Okay.
Well, the caves certainly would be a faster option than trying to travel through the mountains.
Yes, and what with the extended cold seasons we've had the past few years, mountain travel is a dangerous undertaking, to say the least.
It was surprisingly warm in those caves, I will tell you that.
Sometimes that warmth attracts problems.
Well, it would take some time for you to get scouts together, yes?
After you discuss, let me know. If you agree to the proposal, I can have them ready, let's say, by morning tomorrow. I can gather some scouts and some survey teams to accompany you.
Okay. On a related note, there was a rather angry proprietress of the inn waiting for us this morning. If you could settle things with her, that would be lovely.
Oh. Bernard overstepped his bounds again, I see. Yes. I will smooth over the issue.
Wonderful. May I recommend that we break our fast in the inn and talk this over?
I agree.
Great idea. I'm hungry.
Let you know as soon as possible.
Very well. I will be here for most of the day. If I am not here, I'm sure that the town defenders can point you in my direction. I will most likely be at the town hall hearing any relevant business that needs to be done. If you leave the front door, it's across the way. He nods to you all and, says bye.
I'm gonna, say to Auric and Sam kind of quiet, we should probably check on Felix.
Yeah, I was going to get something from
That seems like a good idea.
I was planning to get food from the inn for him, so that we have something to keep him tided over. But, by the way, who is Bernard?
Bernard is the other town guard. You guys met both of them last night. He's the one that Zharko did not catch on fire, but he is the one who brought you guys to the inn and snuck behind the counter and gave you the keys.
Okay, I forgot about that part.
Yeah, it's been a while. I only know that because I listened to it and wanted to make note of it, so I did. Alright, so you guys are leaving. You said you are heading back to the inn?
Yeah.
Cool. You head into the inn. Zharko says he'll be right back. As you walk in, you hear people milling about. There's some tired mumbling. The first thing you notice about this place is that it is almost oppressively warm in here, especially after being, so cold outside. It's that warm where you feel like if you're in there for too long, you might get nauseous, that kind of...
Mm.
Anyway, you walk in, and over the bar area where you can order your food, it says, "Welcome to the Stout Smith Stouts and Sausages." You see the guy from
Goodness.
earlier nursing some sort of... it's got steam. It's a mug of something steamy. He's got it in his hands, and he's kind of hunched over it and taking small sips.
Is he sitting at a large enough table that we can join him?
Yeah.
Or
He's
okay.
He's sitting kind of in the back by himself.
We'll go sit next to him.
He says, "Oh, thank you again, stranger, for the coin.
Sure.
Warm drink really hits the spot on a day like this."
Call me Oric. Did you say your name earlier?
"Oh, no. Didn't figure you cared, honestly. My name's Jock.
Jock. Good to meet you, Jock.
Pleased to meet you too, sir."
What's good here?
Well, not to sound like a smartass, but the stouts and sausages are pretty good."
Sounds like a lovely breakfast.
A scantily clad elven man comes up. He's wearing some weird leather loincloth and boots, and that's
What
about
sort
it.
of sausages are they selling here?
The kind that come with the scantily clad elf.
Apparently.
He says, "Hello, human. I heard that you were looking for some food."
Yes, breakfast to warm us up would be wonderful.
"Would you like a drink as well?"
Certainly. Whatever he's having.
"Certainly." He looks at the rest of you and he says, "Would either of you also like some food and or drink?"
I'll have whatever he's having.
Yes, and double the drink.
He comes back with 4 steaming mugs of something and 3 plates of sausages and some
Sausages.
sort of sauerkraut or something. Plops them on the table for you, and he says, "All right, plates, coin each. Drinks are a coin each. I'll collect the tab before you leave, just letting you know."
Okay.
"Anything else for you right now?"
This should be fine.
"Very well." And he walks off.
So, Jock, I'm curious about your town. What sort of wares is common here? Do your traders sell?
"Not actually from this town, sir. I apologize if I gave that impression. I've been sort of marooned here, let's say, for some time."
Ah. Do you know...
How does
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Sam.
how does one get marooned in a town?
Tried to... I travel, try to ply various trades. Sort of robbed and beaten and left for dead and don't really have the money to leave anymore. And it's a bit too cold to head out on my own."
Ah,
What were your trade? Or what was your trade?
I'm an adequate minstrel. I usually have a way of winning people over. Problem is, with the whole being robbed and beaten, they stole my instrument, and I'm a decent mender. I can heal most wounds adequately. It'll still hurt, but it won't kill you.
So it's somewhat useful then, yes.
And as long as I'm getting paid, I'm a loyal person. So
I see.
there's that as well.
good to know.
Well, like I said, we're not from here. We're not staying here long. You're welcome to accompany us out of town, but we'll be going into certain danger and probably heading further north to the town of First Conquest.
Never heard of it, but any towns better than the one that refuses to help me, I suppose.
Well, the town of First Conquest is always looking for adequate minstrels and healers, I'm sure. So maybe you'll be able to find new trade there. But we can pay for your services on the way back north.
Yeah, my rates are pretty reasonable, I think. They're negotiable, as just food and a coin a day, or something thereabouts is usually all I require.
Sure. Yes. Just so you know, we do have a couple of other companions. One being Sam's loyal hound, a wolf. Is it a wolfhound?
Yes.
And Felix. You'll love Felix. Don't worry about him.
I always appreciate a good dog.
The one wolf. Not the other.
Okay. Is Felix a bit of a drunk or something?
No, he's just not much with words.
He's an unusual creature that accompanies us.
I guess my only other need in this town would be to find perhaps an alchemist of sort. If you know of anyone or could find that out for us, that'd be wonderful.
What sort of alchemy do you need done?
Not the common sort of healing potions and things like that, but one who works more with blasting powder, gunpowder. One of the tasks we have to do on the way back to First Conquest is to remove a terrible monster from the God, I'm just wonderful with names today. Undertrails.
Mm-hmm.
And I have some ideas on how to deal with it, and black powder factors into at least one of those ideas.
So what you're saying is, even though you've got this magic man over here, you're looking to work some black magic of your own, eh? And he kind of elbows you a little bit.
Yes, sure.
I think we can find some materials you could use. Was there anything aside from that you needed in town? Any shops, anything you needed to buy?
I don't even know what we can buy in this universe. I turn to Sam and Zharko. If you two are looking for anything to replenish your stock, this would be the time, I'm sure. I need to open the PDF again to see what shops sell in the way of like armor and things like that.
Page 326. The weapons, armor you could buy, and then after that you have dungeon gear and basically all that stuff. Page 326.
No, Zharko doesn't need to buy anything. I think he's just gonna go back to his room and meditate a little bit and get his spells in order.
I would like to visit a weapon shop if there is one of reasonable quality in town.
Sure. I believe we can find something. I can't swear by the quality since I've been too poor to afford things, but
certainly. And then we probably will need to replenish our stocks as well. So I don't know what you call a shopping market here. I'm just doing terrible things tonight. Sorry.
We've got a general trade market you can go to.
Okay. Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Okay. So Zharko, you got up while the others were still talking, and you left the tavern, right?
Yeah, gonna go back to my room at the hotel.
Okay. After you walk out of the tavern, there is a woman standing in the street, kind of between the tavern and the inn. She's an older lady. She's got her arms crossed. She's looking at you with sort of a questioning, kind of grumpy face, and she's got two guys with her.
What do the guys look like?
20s or 30s, kind of big, kind of beefy.
Okay.
And she's just staring at you.
I'll just sort of give her like a side glance and then continue on to the inn.
Okay. Zharko, you are back at the inn. As you walk in, Bernard, the guard, is just finishing getting chewed out by Zia, the elder's wife. He looks over at you like you told her to kick him or something, like the hurt dog expression. And he
I'm just gonna
puts his
shrug.
head down and walks out. Not my fucking problem. All right. You still have the key, so you are free to go back to the room if you want.
Yeah.
All right. Sam and Auric. Y'all are getting ready to leave?
Yes.
I wanted to just flag down the. I guess did Zharko bother paying his tab, or did he just?
I
Dash
think he
and
just
dash.
walked out. So
I'll just acquire that from him later. Don't worry.
So the elf comes up and he goes, I saw your friend leave. I trust you'll be paying for him, so that's 7 total.
Actually, I need to. Do you have like a? I don't know if they even have lamb around here. Just sort of a large hunk of meat. I'm not looking for quality here.
Just a big haunch of something?
Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't matter what it is.
We can get some of the older stuff. I could, 3 coin for that,
Okay.
make it 10 total.
Sure.
Alright, come around the back after you leave and we'll have it ready for you.
Okay.
So make sure you take your 10 off your inventory, since apparently you're the only one spending money tonight. And as you guys walk out of the front of the inn, is Jock coming with you? Did you invite him to come along?
Unless he needed to wander off to find the alchemist that I was asking about, or
Oh yeah. He's gonna slink off and do that. So you two guys, or you two, not two guys, you two walk out of the front door, and you also see an older woman with a questioning, angry glare, and 2 beefy-looking dudes kind of looking at you. Were you looking for me?
Are you? What was her name again? Vela. Yes, we were looking
That's
for you.
me. You don't look like a usual customer. So what is it you need?
Out of curiosity, what is your usual customer?
Depends on the quality they're looking for. Either a drunk or a connoisseur.
Okay, I probably no idea what you're talking about. I'm sure. Actually, we're here about, I believe, your father.
She gets like a real angry look on her face, and you see her clench her fist like to not slap you. She goes, I've told the last several people who've come by, I'm not responsible for his debts. I don't know where he went.
We do know where he went.
Yes. Do we have his journal? Can I just say we had his
I
journal?
believe you have it in your pack, Auric.
Okay, I have his journal.
Collectively, you've got it. I'm not going to make you like inventory manage who
Yeah.
there has it. You guys have the 2 halves of the journal, the necklace, and the little cloth doll.
Zharko has the pouch of dust.
He can have that still. I'm gonna get. I'll hand her the journal. He just here. Please read this.
What is this supposed to be?
This was your father's final journal.
Why is it up?
Please, just read it. You'll understand. It's an unfortunate tale, but one you need to hear.
She looks through the pages, kind of flips through them pretty quickly. And as she gets to the end, you see her just getting really sad. She puts her hand over her mouth. And by the end, she seems to be almost crying. She goes, I spent my whole life thinking that he had abandoned my mother and I. That he had found some other wife and ran off and left us to pay all his debts.
No, and he also had these 2 items on him. I believe it was a necklace for your mother and a doll for you. And I will hand those over as well.
Okay. She hands the journal to the taller, skinnier looking beefy guy, and she looks at the doll for a second, and she says, Logain, you've got a daughter now. Give her this. And he nods and says thanks, and she walks over and she puts the necklace back in your hands. She says, the person this was for is dead. You take it. It lets me know that my father wasn't the man that people here say he was. And that's maybe some of the best news I could have received, aside from the fact that he, was still alive. But it seems like given the state at the end, it's probably for the best that he wasn't.
I don't know if it's something you want to do, but the creature, was he a Grey Walker?
Grey Render?
Render?
Or the the adventurer himself was a Wendigo. I don't know what you're trying to
No. I'm talking about the
Felix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grey Render. The creature that was protecting your father. We brought him to town with us. We made friends with him. I don't know if you want to meet it. It is rather large and imposing, but he was the one to take care of your father in in the under trail where we found him.
I would like that.
Well, I was about taking breakfast, so you're welcome to join us. We're heading to the stables.
Very well. And she motions to the two guys, and she says, "These are my sons. I sometimes bring them around for intimidation, but they're mostly harmless." And they're both like, "Come on, Ma." She says, "Quiet." And she, the three of them follow you guys.
Okay, so I'll head to the back of the tavern, grab whatever they...
It's a pretty big haunch of meat. It's probably close to the size of Max.
I'll lug that back to the stables.
Okay. Due to the state of the streets and the fact that the stables aren't necessarily traveled to all the time, it takes a little bit longer to get there. But after a little winding pathways and everything, you arrive. You walk through the barn, and it smells kind of like blood and poop.
That's
good.
comforting.
There's no lights or anything inside.
Also good.
I'll put the haunch down. I have torches, and I'll light up a torch.
One of the stalls by the front door has a cow standing up and what appears to be a newborn right next to it. There's a little bit of blood on the straw, probably from the whole birthing process.
Was Felix the midwife?
Hey, guys! What do you call a cow? What do you guys call a cow that just gave birth? Decaffeinated.
God damn it!
Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay.
Good night, everybody. This has been that episode of That D&D.
Just lock Zharko in his room.
If you head on further back, there's some carts with some poopy hay. There are some stalls with a few horses and goats, and in the back you have Max laying at the feet of the Grey Render. Kind of just, it seems like little buddies keeping each other warm.
Felix, I brought you breakfast. Do you want to come to the front of the stables here?
You hear a low growl and then some pounding sounds as it slowly begins moving across the stall towards you. You can hear the livestock being a little bit uneasy.
Yeah, I'll bring the meat towards him too.
Chomp, 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 chomp. There's a lot of sucking sounds and the crunching of whatever bones were inside the haunch.
Awesome.
This is Felix. Felix, this is the daughter of your former master. I'm sure he talked to you about her. After introducing her and say, perhaps your master's original intentions was to pass on your protection to his family. If that's something that you want, and Vela, you think you can support Felix, perhaps that might be something you want to set up or want to entertain.
Well, he may be expensive to feed, but I can't deny the utility of a giant companion.
Felix, is this something that you want?
There's a grunt and sort of a quick nod, just...
I take that as a yes then, and so if that works out for you two, then I'm happy to pass on his protection to you.
Felix looks down for a second, kind of just looks around for, I don't know, something, and he pulls a little scale off his arm and he hands it to you.
Thanks, Felix.
It's like wet and sticky and slimy, and it just smells god-awful.
I'll clean it up. What size is it? Like palm or larger?
Probably about half the size of your palm, maybe.
Okay.
And most of the time with scales, you can kind of bend them a little bit. This one feels like it's made out of metal. Like it's just super rigid. And Vela says, well, this is not how I expected this to go at all when they said someone was looking for me. Work at the vineyard's going to be a lot easier now. Were you guys here just to talk to me, or what's going on? Why are you here? I've never seen you before.
We're from the town of First Conquest. We are looking to set up trade with towns in our proximity, and we just are somewhat isolated up in the north, and trying to reach out to other towns around us for increasing prosperity and all that.
Well, like I said, I run a vineyard, so if that's something you think your town might be interested in, I can send a few bottles, if whatever you can carry. I could send it with you.
Sure, I'd be happy to introduce your product to the town of First Conquest.
I'll make sure to pick some of the good stuff.
Wonderful.
I want the name of the drunken hawk to be thought of fondly for good times and fancy events. We named it the Drunken Hawk.
That is an awesome name.
It really is.
I'm glad you like it. Hopefully other people do also. Well, I really don't know what to say. I'm sort of at a loss for words after this whole thing. Is there anything I can do for you guys? I mean, you've given me closure on a decades-long thing in my life. You've given me a new friend. I don't even know what to do.
I don't think there's much beyond, getting some provisions together and heading back north.
How long of a trip is it to get back to your town?
Oh, just how long was it? Was it like 10 days? 12?
I want to say it was like 4 to get to the swamp, and then it was like 2 to the fork. Let's say another day in the cave and most of a day to there. So probably like 8 days.
Okay. Yeah, it takes us about 8 to 10 days travel, hopefully.
We don't have much, but in the off season like now, we convert the vineyard to grow food crops, and we raise some livestock. We can maybe bundle you up some provisions, and I know it's not much in the way of coin, but every bit helps, right?
Certainly.
You can't spend coin in the Undertrail, so it works quite well for us.
Fair enough. I can have it ready for you. Where are you staying at the inn?
Yes.
I can have someone bring the supplies to the bronze balcony by nightfall, let's say.
That would work just fine.
If you're out shopping or anything, I'll just leave it with Zia. So just ask for, see if there's anything for you when you get back.
Okay.
Did you guys give her your name?
I think she knows who we are, definitely.
Yeah. Those folks from out of town.
Yes,
it would work,
yeah.
I'm sure.
I'm trying to take better notes this time. I also have a spot with like 7 different bad names for Zharko. The unfathomable Sandino and the illustrious Machismo.
Oh, I like that one a lot. That's what I'm going to start using.
Zharko,
Yes.
you are in the inn meditating. What are you focusing on? Is there anything you're trying to achieve with your meditations?
His machismo.
Getting my spells aligned, but there was some sort of malarkey that happened in the caves that I wasn't able to get my unseen servant working anymore. So I need to figure out what's up with that.
Yes. That was true. So in your meditation, for a few moments, it's almost like you're outside of your body looking at yourself. And then you are still visible, but the walls begin to fade away. And then the rest of the inn begins to fade away. And then the town fades away. The ground is still there, but all the buildings are gone. And then you notice other things walking around, things that you definitely didn't see before.
That's comforting.
They're different sorts of figures. Some of them seem just blurry. Some of them are sort of smoky. And some of them are really well defined, but when you look away from them, it's just impossible to actually remember anything about them. but you feel pretty certain that these are the unseen servants that you call upon so often. And for the first time, you're pretty sure that they know you're there, because as far as your eye can see, they've all stopped what they're doing, and they're facing you and slowly converging on you.
That sounds fun.
Do they have, like, expressions on their faces?
They seem pretty blank. Like, you don't see any anger or any excitement. It's just sort of, we're walking, we're coming to you.
Okay.
Are you going to do anything or just let them approach?
I'm just going to let them approach.
Okay. Time is kind of hard to determine the passage of in these weird meditation states, but some increment of time later, the first one comes up to you, and it holds out stumpy arms, and two others come up next to that one, and they put their hands on its shoulders, and they say, "This one's usefulness has been taken. This one's blood has been spilled. Will you make it right?"
What would make it right?
Blood.
Blood, you say?
If you wish for our aid, you will make it right. There will be no death. There will be pain.
And do you require any pain in particular, or?
They stop answering, and they just say,
Make it right. There will make it right. Make it right. Make it right. There will be make it right.
overlapping chanting of voices.
All right. Whatever. I'll get it figured out. I'm going to come out of the trance. I'm going to go downstairs and talk to the innkeeper and say, I need a goat.
The invisible people slowly begin to become invisible again. The surroundings build themselves, starting in the distance, and get closer to you. You come to exactly where you started your meditation, except now you have a strange, kind of wispy-looking dagger in your hand, and it's facing your other hand. As, like, you're holding it in your left hand, blade up, and your right hand is positioned right above it.
No, I need a goat. Can I move my hands, or?
Oh yeah, you have complete control over your actions.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a goat.
Okay. The Zia, the innkeeper, says, "We've got a few goats down at the stables. I don't exactly know what you want with one of those, but I suppose for the right price, the farmers can be convinced to part with them."
Let me talk with one of the farmers.
Sure. Go down to the stables, and the building to the left before you get there is their house. Just, I guess, knock on the door and tell them you want to buy a goat? This is sort of a strange territory
Like,
for me.
during this whole time, like, one of my hands is still gripping this phantom dagger?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, unless you try to put it somewhere, then yeah.
No, I think I'm just going to be holding that for right now. But
Okay. She is eyeing that hand especially suspiciously.
So I'm going to go down and knock on the door to talk to one of the farmers.
Sure. With a few minutes travel, you can trudge your way over to the farmhouse. Are you just going to, like, knock on the door, or you want to, like, kick it down and be like, "Where's the goat?"
No, I'm going to knock on the door.
Okay. A young girl, probably, I don't know, 9 or 10, opens the door. She says, "Hi, how can..." And she looks down, sees the blade, and then slams the door shut.
It's one of them goat killers.
You hear some commotion inside. And somebody says, "Get away from the door." But it doesn't reopen.
Wait, I thought this was magic. You can see that?
Foolproof plan.
The door opens a little bit, and there's a slightly older-looking man there. He's got a bit of a scraggly beard. He says, "I don't know what magic you think you're doing, but you and that weird dagger of yours can get out of here."
I need one of your goats
"Why?"
to get rid of the dagger.
"Throw the dagger away."
Look, it would take a really long time to explain. it'd just be a lot simpler if I could just get one of your goats.
If you want one of my goats, you're going to buy it. And if you're going to use it for some strange magical ritual that does who knows what, you're going to pay for it.
I'm going to touch the door, and I'm going to cast one of the new spells I learned.
Okay.
With my extended spell book, I could add a spell from any class to my spell book. I added Cause Fear from the cleric list.
Jeez.
Oh, this is going to work really well.
Okay, so how are you trying to cause fear?
It's I choose a target I can see, which is the old guy, and a nearby object, which is the door.
So you're going to make him afraid of the door?
Right. So their reaction is up to them. They can flee, panic, beg, or fight, it says, if I'm successful.
Sure. Let me get you to roll that 12. Of course you did. So, unbeknownst to you, he actually lost a child a few years back.
To the front door.
No. The door suddenly became copies of the child's face, basically screaming at how he had failed him.
Ooh.
So the man he falls and he is scrambling backwards to get away from the door. He's like, no, that's impossible. What are you doing?
I'm going to open the door. I'm going to say, give me a goat.
Take it and go. Leave my family alone and undo whatever you did to my house. Get that evil away from me.
I dispel the spell. It's gone. The spell's gone. I go get my goat.
Okay. Auric and Sam and Max, where are you guys at this point?
I had some more shopping to do.
Right. Okay. Let's say you guys are leaving right as, like, you leave, the shot on the right, and then a few seconds later, Zharko comes in the shot on the left and goes into the same building you guys just left. So, I mean, you just missed each other.
Ah.
Good.
Oh, darn.
Yeah. The shops are over on this side of town, kind of off to the left as you're leaving the inn. So, Zharko, you headed over to the stables. What in particular are you guys looking for at the shops?
Like I was saying, I was looking for a weaponsmith to either, I don't know if I could enhance or just outright buy a better rapier. Because I wanted to upgrade to the dueling rapier.
Ooh, one piercing. That's pretty good.
Yes. Pretty much the same thing, just a little bit of armor piercing.
Yeah. It also weighs a little bit more, just so you know.
Yeah.
There's a few of them in the main. The way this place is set up, it's sort of like an open air market, except there's a big roof over everything, I guess to keep the snow away. But aside from that, there's just open walls. There's no doors or anything. It's a bunch of stalls. There's a few blacksmith booths that are set up next to each other. They all have ones that are different levels of ornateness. There's one that is 50 coin. There's one that is like 60, and there's one that's 75 that appears to be made out of some super shimmery metal.
Okay, I think I'm going to take the time and study these weapons, and I think possibly if I don't have my basic moves, I think discern realities. Kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to use discern realities to sort of find the best value for my dollar, if I can, get this roll. 14.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Do you want to use like the three of them to discern which one of those is the best bang for your buck, so to speak?
Yeah, it's probably a combination of what should I be on the lookout for and what's the most valuable and what's not what it appears to be. Those three kind of together.
After some cursory swings and a few stabs at a practice dummy, since that's the only thing that's volunteering to get stabbed around here, the one that's 50 is okay. The weight on it seems wonky, so it would probably have armor piercing, but it might be harder to swing. 60. That one seems to be a good match between price and functionality. And the one that's the most expensive, it just seems like they spent a lot of time polishing it. It doesn't seem to have anything special about it, except that it is shiny and
It's
will
so
probably draw
shiny.
attention to you, which is what you want, right?
Yeah.
Super shiny.
Okay, I'll go for the middle solid looking one.
Okay.
I would like to also barter or trade in with my current rapier, just because I don't need two.
Trying to remember how you sell shit back.
I'm pretty sure it's just full refund, right?
I don't think so. Let's call it halvesies. I'll give you so let's say 65 minus 15. He'll sell to you for 40, 50. No, he'll sell to you for 50.
Okay. I will.
Let's make it 40.
40? Okay. And so it is just a standard straight up dueling rapier?
Yes. The other one was going to be some weird bulky one that had like -1 to hack and slash because it was built shitty.
Okay. Yeah, and then if we're getting rations, the only other thing I wanted to do was see the alchemist, and I didn't have anything else currently to spend my day doing. Maybe patching up farmer-goat relations later on, but nothing else right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't know about that part to fix it preemptively. Sam, were you looking to buy anything while you were here?
I might recommend restocking arrows.
I was doing all of this to see if I could open the PDF so that I could see if there was something I wanted to buy, and it's taken me about 7 minutes to do that. So...
Is there a difference between bundle of arrows and elven arrows, except for that...
Brand name.
I mean, it doesn't really list a difference.
Jeez. I don't know.
You'd imagine there should be some difference, but it doesn't really...
Well, it says they're variations, so it says like a dull longsword might be -1 damage instead, while a masterwork dagger could be +1. So I'd probably give elven arrows like a +1 damage bonus or something.
Yeah, because there's also like 3 different types of bow. There's a ragged bow, a fine bow, and a hunter's bow.
Yeah.
And they all look almost identical, except for weight. I guess one is less weight.
Sam, while Auric is wandering the different blacksmith stalls, there is a merchant. You assume he's a merchant. He's wearing a long trench coat. He doesn't seem to be in front of a stall or anything. He goes, "Hey, you look like a hunter. Interested in a deal?"
Depends on the deal.
Got some real special arrows.
How special?
Perfect accuracy, with a slight caveat, of course.
What does the accuracy cost me?
Well, it's 5 coin per arrow.
That wasn't what I meant.
There's no harm to you. These arrows cannot ever be exposed to the light of day.
That doesn't seem incredibly useful, then.
They come with a cover.
The cover is also
Do you have
cursed.
a moment? I could tell you the tale of the whole thing. It'll make sense, maybe.
I'll give you a moment.
These are mystic arrows, carved in a dark cave by a blind Fletcher, after thieves took his eyes. It's said that in the darkness, you only have to think of your target and fire, and these arrows will find their target. They are known to hit weak spots, but if exposed to the light of day, they turn to ash.
This is kind of intriguing, but what will it cost me? And I don't mean the gold coin.
That's all. Coin.
I don't believe you.
You're under no obligation to buy anything. Shall I give you a token you can use if you encounter one of my friends? We try to sell similar wares. Just to let them know you're a prospective customer.
I will take your token, and I will take one of your arrows, but only one.
5 coins, please.
5.
Okay. He puts it into a pocket on the top of his jacket, rustles around inside the coat, and hands you it is its own special quiver. That's got like a flap that comes over the top that you can tie down. He goes, "There's your arrow. Remember, like I said, no sunlight.
Indeed.
And here's my token." And it seems to be some sort of clay coin with, it's like a shiny, kind of golden-looking hooded face on it.
Interesting.
Anyway, try out the wares. Hopefully you like them. We can always go from there.
We shall see.
Very well, ma'am. Have a splendid day.
I'm going to back carefully away from him.
He walks off and disappears into the crowd. I keep writing Eska. That's not you anymore.
It's not me anymore. I'm going to keep that token in my hand in case I see someone who might be able to give me more information about it.
Okay.
And while I'm wandering through the marketplace, while Oric is examining his rapier to see which one he wants to buy, I want to look for like
Hamburger.
No, Humberder, Durfenblur. Okay, no, like a message board, but that's not what it's called.
Like a job board?
Yeah. You know, like the town.
One of those help wanted.
You know, like in The Witcher, where you go look at the board for stuff.
They call it a sideboard because you get side quests there.
Yeah. Let's go find a side quest. And I just, I figure since we won't be leaving till tomorrow anyway, maybe there's something there that I can take care of this afternoon that might earn us some coin. Lost children or dogs or goats or something.
We've got some rats. Can you get them out of our basement?
You see one magically writing itself on the job board. It says, "Help, someone turned my door into my kid and stole my goat."
Damn
that
wizard.
Didn't happen. So while you go to check the job board, we will pan back over to Zharko. And Zharko, you are in the stables. You know what goats look like, right?
Yeah.
Like, does Zharko know what a goat looks like?
Yeah.
I'm sure he sacrificed goats before, probably.
Probably.
Okay, cool. No, it was a serious question. I just probably didn't phrase it well. Anyway, so there's a few goats huddled up for warmth, kind of towards the midish of the stables, off to the right side. They're well domesticated and used to people, so they don't really go run off.
Is there like anybody around?
No.
Zharko's realizing that he really can't tie a rope with just one hand.
If you have a really, really long rope, you can just make a loop and put the ends through the loop and pull it in.
Yeah, but like to tie the goat up is the thing.
Right. But like if you had a really, really long rope, then you could fold it in half and
but the thing Zharko's really appreciating is the irony here is that like an unseen servant would be really useful right now. And he
Oh god.
I'm not even going to make you roll a discern realities. All these goats have those little leashes kind of things for easy leading them to and from the pasture.
Aren't you nice?
So if you wanted to just take one and fucking walk out with it, you could.
Okay, that's nice. That solves half the problem. So I'll take one of the goats and lead it away.
Yeah, you already successfully rolled to steal goat. I'm not going to make you roll to rope.
Well, because I need to wrap its legs up, so it can't run away.
The lead is of a length that you could probably get two of the legs, maybe? Where are you leading this goat now that you're out of the stables?
That is a good question.
Where do you want to perform this farm animal sacrifice in this town that you guys are new to?
Yeah, no, Zharko's gonna go out of town.
Was there supposed to be no death or something?
Just pain. But I'm pretty sure that will look the same to a casual onlooker.
I think I'm looking at this map here, and there's like this outcropping behind the barn where like Max and Felix are staying, and that's where the goats are too. So I think I'll go out there, out there where
it's a very scenic place to ritually sacrifice a goat. This place does not have the snow melted, so the goat resists a little bit. It's hard to get it to get through the snow. You kind of have to drag it.
If it's willing, I will pick it up and carry it under my arm. But
that works. It doesn't fight. After you force your way through the snow, you get to, let's say, you're about 20 feet away from any of the cliffs. Safe, but still dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got a goat. You have one goat in your inventory. What do you want to do?
I'm going to set it down, and I'm going to close my eyes and concentrate a little bit. And then I'm going to crouch down next to the goat. I'm going to take the leash in my hand and like wrap it around its legs so it's bound up and can't run away.
It's looking at you with a confused look on its big, dumb goat face.
Yeah, like basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the leash and I'm going to like bend down and put it in front of its legs. And then very quickly I'm going to flip it onto its back before it can react. And then like wrap it around its legs.
All right.
Because I mean, goats aren't. They're kind of smart, so I gotta surprise it.
To an extent, yeah. All right. There's a bleat as you flip it over.
Yeah.
And it's confused.
And I'm gonna take the dagger. I'm gonna put it above one of the hooves, and I'm gonna drive it in.
Where normally you would feel resistance as a knife met flesh, there is none, and you just kind of punch the goat, and the knife's in your other hand.
I'm gonna shift hands and try and do that with the other one.
Please stop punching the goat.
Zharko's gonna like close his eyes for a moment, and he's thinking to himself, why do I have to pay for magic? Why can't I just do the ritual and it works? I'm gonna snap the goat's neck. And then I'm going to wait a moment with the spectral dagger, and then I'm going to drive it into my palm of my hand.
How deep are you trying to put this thing?
I'm just going to take it and, like I was, like emphasizing a point, just boom.
As you pull the blade back, the blood begins to flow a lot quicker than you would expect. It doesn't flow onto the ground or really onto your hand. It seems to float free into the air as if there were no gravity. Almost like a small child who got far too overeager feeding. The blood begins to come quicker and quicker, and then soon there's a pretty large quantity of it coming out of your hand. And shortly before you pass out, you see the blood flow into the air in small streams and sort of flow out like it's filling in capillaries and blood vessels. And for a moment, before it fades, you see the outline of a person looking down at you. And then that disappears, and you lose consciousness next to the dead goat. So what we're going to do is we're going to end this episode here, because it's been like an hour and a half. Jesus. Thank you, everybody, for downloading this episode of That D&D Podcast. We hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more, and we will bring you more shenanigans, goat punches, and then goat wrestling moves, and mysterious strangers. Thanks.
That D&D Podcast is released under Creative Commons 2.0, Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivative License. Tell your friends about us, don't chop up the good stuff, and don't sell our work. The intro music is The Last Ones by Jahzzar, that's Jahzzar. It can be found at the Free Music Archive. The outro music is Kopeika, Kopeika, by Et, that's ET_, and can also be found at the Free Music Archive. All other copyrighted content is owned by their associated copyright holder.